So, how's everybody feeling about episode one? I have thoughts, as usual. Now, in regards to the video game, I love both Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. But for Part 2 in particular, I felt as though the story as it was presented was a little bit of a mess. It spent a little bit too much time focusing on Ellie's revenge tour in Seattle. It didn't spend enough time on Tommy's revenge tour in Seattle. It didn't give us enough time to flesh out Abby's character early on. And by the time we really started to see behind the curtain, as to what exactly was going on with her character, her motivations, her drive, the way she was dealing with her trauma, why the hell she was so goddamn big. It had already lost a lot of people. There are a lot of people that I know who just did not finish the game because of Joel's death. I think the change for the show, opening up with Abby and the Seattle crew, basically dealing with the grief and loss of everybody that Joel essentially killed in the hospital, was a fantastic idea. That was the correct approach because you essentially introduce this character who's going to have a big role in the narrative as it goes forward. You introduce the reasons as to why this character is going to be making that choice later on. Not only that, but you also compound that by introducing the fact that Joel's essentially in therapy. His decision doesn't sit well with him. Not only does it not sit well with him, it's also not sitting well with Ellie because she's basically discovered the ruse and it's eating him up. It's eating him up because he fell into this father role and now he feels as though he's losing his daughter figure while also dealing with the fact that he's also picked up another surrogate daughter figure in the form of Dinah, which is something that he brings up. He's like, the little girl that I sacrificed everything for, a decision that I made. She doesn't want anything to do with me. But there's this other little girl that I've low key been taking care of while we've been in here, and she's a great understudy. She's always checking up on me to see how I'm doing. Like he's basically living the worst life any father can have, where your eldest daughter doesn't want anything to do with you, or one of your kids doesn't want anything to do with you, and then there's that other kid that's always up under you that wants to learn from you and likes being around you, and it's like, well, damn, if you can like me, what's going on over here? He's going through his midlife dad crisis essentially, and I liked the conversation between both Joel and the therapist because off the top of my head I do not remember whether or not her husband was killed by Joel in the game. If it was referenced, I must have skipped over. It's been years since I played the game, but I like that she also has a level of animosity with him. She understands why he had to do what he did because essentially her husband may have been infected, he may have been bitten, something along those lines, and Joel wasted no time in killing him. But it was the act of how callous I'm assuming Joel was in killing him, which was as soon as he was bitten, Joel instantaneously probably put him down. That rubbed her the wrong way. Her inability to basically grieve her husband, be there in his final moments, see him one last time before he was essentially taken out of this world. She holds resentment against Joel for that. But at the same time, she understands why he had to do it and she's willing to help him. And I like how there's a moment where she goes from sassy and angry to a little bit scared, which is when Joel starts to cry because he doesn't want to say what it is that he did. And then he stands up and there's like this look of fear on her face that pops up for a second. And when Joel says, I saved her, and then he just walks out of the room, there is this level of, I would say, confusion on her part because she's missing, as she says, a really, really big piece of the narrative. And unless she gets that piece of the narrative, she doesn't understand why it is that these two individuals who came into the town with a loving father-daughter relationship have essentially completely fallen out. So I like that you could say the you could say that from her perspective, she's basically somebody who didn't watch season one. She has no idea what the hell is going on. But I love that actress and I love that relationship, or should I say, that conversation between both of those characters. Now jumping to both Ellie and Dinah, perfect. I know a lot of people complain about Bella Ramsey as Ellie. In my opinion, she 100% nails Ellie's attitude down to the fucking T. If you were to take any audio of Bella Ramsey from the show and then dub it over into the game, it would perfectly fit. She does not match Ellie physically. There's Kaylee Spaney is a perfect 1-for-1 replication of what Ellie would look like in real life. However, 100% when it comes to attitude, 100% in regards to how she carries that character, that is our incarnation of Ellie. I have no issue. None. Perfect. Isabel Marcet as Dinah, also fantastic. I love the fact that she's as likable, as caring, as low-key selfless as she's shown herself to be in the game at multiple different times. She's a little bit selfish a little bit later on, but you can understand why the selfishness pops up, because later on you're on a suicide hunt mission with your girlfriend in Seattle, doing all this different types of stuff like from the game. So it's understandable why she'll become a little bit selfish later on down the line, because situations essentially change. But in regards to on the show, fantastic. Absolutely love her. I love their banter and dynamic when they're hunting the clicker upstairs, where she's trying to get Ellie's attention and clicking the thing, and then she's like, I gotta, you go that way and pick up the bottle. I also love the video game references, such as picking up the bottle to basically throw it and break it to get something to go over to its location. Love that. I love the fact that when she's standing outside the window, she has a moment where she's like basically doing the focus mode, where she's a little bit like this, and she's like 1, 2, no, same 1. Good. Like those taking aspects from the video game and applying them into the show, fantastic decision. I love doing that type of stuff. The situation with the stalker when she falls into the supermarket, I also love. Let the stalkers be creepy. I like the fact that the stalker was out there moving, just pure intelligence, like coming around the corner once she's cleared the line of sight for the shelf, using cover, hiding inside of the box to try and attack her from behind, knowing when to click and when not to click. Like when she's aware that Ellie's looking directly at her, she's clicking and making the typical sounds, but then once Ellie goes past her and she's hiding in that box and she comes out, dead silence sneaks up on her. And then of course there are the clicks that are ticks, so like it doesn't want to do it, but it's kind of a reflex. Well, technically it's a physical deformity, and it happens anyway, and then that's what alerts her to the fact that it's behind her. The entire time that scene was going on, I was like, yo, it's behind you. You gotta you're checking your corners, but you gotta kind of look behind you every once in a while to see whether or not it's sneaking up behind you. That was attention that I needed, and that was just one. I can't wait until later on when we're dealing with stalkers, clickers, bloaters, all that type of shit. That stuff's going to be fucking fantastic. The after series care, well, not even really after series care, which is it's hiding the wound, where she takes the knife and she slices over where the bite would be, because she has to hide the fact that she has a fresh bite wound, because in the event that somebody like pulls up her shirt and they're like, what the fuck is that? She wouldn't be able to explain it, because they have to hide the fact that she's basically immune. Love it. I love that type of stuff. That type of stuff is fucking great. It adds a layer of fear for the character that I feel like the game didn't really have, which is she not only has to be super careful to basically make sure she doesn't die out there in the world, but she also has to be super careful dealing with the infected, that they don't kill her, but then she also has to be super careful that she doesn't get any scratches or bites that may lead to the humans around her turning around and killing her as well. That type of stuff, I love. I absolutely adore it. The dance scene, I knew it was coming. It was good as I think it was. The guy who plays Jesse is fucking great. That's a whole lot of torment, guilt. My gay best friend is about to end up with my ex-gay girlfriend. That type of stuff is fucking hilarious. Like that scene where he's standing there and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, you guys are gonna get back together in like 2 weeks." He's like, "Nah, we already had this discussion. Like, we're not getting back together in 2 weeks." She's basically figured out that she's in love with you. And I realized that she's in love with you from how when she talks about you and looks at you. I love that. That's perfect casting, both for the physical acting, not only with the way in which how he looks, but the way in which he carried the scene with how he was looking at Ellie and looking at Dinah, and then kind of like, how the fuck, how are you dumb? How are you the gun ho? I'm willing to fight everybody one, but you're also dumb. That's great. They got my man Detective Tucker from Law and Order SVU to play the sexist dude. That was also a really great thing. I'm hoping that they add a little bit more sauce with his character arc, because don't just bring my man in for one episode and then like not use him again. I'm hoping he pops up again in some type of shape or form. I know in the game, from the correctly, he apologizes to her. I'm kind of hoping for that, but I'm hoping for a little bit more in regards to what happens like in the future and a little bit down the line. I honestly like the day-to-day that goes on in Jackson. Seeing the council, reporting to the council, how they do guard duty, their patrol setup, the day-to-day life inside the town. Joel being basically an uncle to Tommy's son. That was great. The extra scene that we got with both Ellie and Tommy sniping out in the snow is also fucking great, because that means that there's going to be a really dope callback when the story shifts to Seattle in regards to a certain situation that Ellie walks up on, where it's just like, yeah, nah, that's definitely Tommy, in regards to my man out there sniping. That's dope as hell. I think all of the little scenes that they added basically expanded a lot on not only the world but certain characters. The opening scene with Abby is great. Ellie spending more time with the people around the town is great. Joel spending time with the therapist is also great. I feel like episode 1 was a slow burn before shit goes absolutely sideways, and maybe episode 2, maybe episode 3. I'm feeling like episode 2 next week is going to be when everything absolutely fucking explodes, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think about episode 1 of season 2 of The Last of Us. Comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.